guys, it's Faye from SolarFlow and I am back with a new video. Today's topic are health hacks. So if this sounds good, please stick around, and if not, I will catch you at another video. So first and foremost, hey Faye, this is a Behind the Veil channel. Why are we talking about health hacks? And that is because, as I say at the end of every video, stay in the high vibration. Part of the high vibration is health and wellness. If we are not feeling optimally, if our body is not functioning to the best that it can, then that is going to weigh us down, and then that will pull us out of a high vibrational energetic state. So if we can bring our body into the optimum state of wellness, that will help us ascend more and get into a high vibration. So that is why I'm doing this video today. Is this the most comprehensive list of items that one could take? No, absolutely not. These are just items that I myself have used and that I can attest to their efficacy, and that I like them and I use them and I recommend them. This video is not meant to replace medical advice that you will receive from a medical doctor, so please do not use it for such purposes. I'm just sharing my goodies. Now, as always, I am not an affiliate and I do not earn a commission on these items, except for one. One of the items I was referring out to everybody I knew, and because of that I actually signed up to become an affiliate, because I was like, hey, if I'm recommending this to everyone anyway, maybe I can earn some extra money on the side. I will tell you what that item is when we get to it. There is going to be a link down below for it should you choose to purchase it. Yes, I will earn a small commission on it. Other than that, every product here are just things that have worked for me. There is no financial compensation that I receive for recommending them. Also to that end, I'm going to be putting timestamps on everything. And one thing I will not be doing is what I did in the beauty and makeup video, which is if it's something that you can get in like your local Target, I'm not gonna be linking it because that was nutty. Just like the amount of links and all of that was in that video. So I will tell you where I have gotten everything. If it's something that you can get in Target, I won't link it. If it's a specialty item, I will link it, okay? With that in mind, let's dive in. So first and foremost, I had this guy in my hand and I was playing with it. Let's talk about it. This is a body brush. Now, I like body brushes for a couple of reasons. One of them is purely superficial and shallow. This is a great exfoliator. So if I have like a special occasion or someplace that I need to be, I will always end up using this because it's just great. It sloughs off all the dead skin cells that are on your surface layer. You will get a great exfoliation, you'll get a better shave. It's just fabulous. Now, is that the only use for it? Absolutely not. The primary use for something like this is that this is actually meant to move matter through your system and move things through your lymphatic system. So there's two different ways that you can use it. One is where you're actually massaging away from your heart, and one where you're actually massaging in towards your heart. Let's talk a little bit about that. So if you're going to be showering at night before bed, you actually want to massage in towards your heart, because that's bringing your blood flow in and it's going to be a lot more soothing and relaxing. If you're showering first thing in the morning, then you are going to want more energy. So you're actually going to be brushing away from your heart. And you do this everywhere. And that's to help with the blood flow moving through all of your limbs. So you're just gonna do like your arms, your legs, your stomach, whatever you can reach on your back. These are great. I got this in Target years ago. I can't tell you how much it would go for today. Maybe, I'm gonna guess, maybe $15, okay? Dry brush, really, really great. You use this prior to showering. This is designed for your lymphatic system, as well as exfoliating and sloughing off dead skin cells on the surface of your body. Okay. Next one, I'll try to keep it in some sort of an order here that will make sense and that there's a flow. So this is a jade roller that I got from Sephora. This is the Mount Lay, not sure how it's pronounced. Again, I got this before I knew better. When you know better, you can do better. Now I see these all over the place in like Marshalls and TJ Maxx. They're at least half the price. So you can get these for about 15 bucks. This it lives in my freezer. And the reason that it lives in my freezer is because, first of all, this is also kind of like, think about a massager for the lymphatic system in your face. And it has two different ends. It has the big end and it has the little end. The big end I use like on my cheekbones or my jaw, and then the littler one I'll use around my eyes and my nose and my mouth. If you're prone to any sort of puffiness on your face, like I am, when I wake up in the morning my eyes are puffy, this is really, really great. And that's why it lives in my freezer, because you're getting the cold, which is a great compression, and it also will move things around your face and through the lymphatic system. So great item, I highly recommend it. This one's Jade, but you can also get them in like rose quartz and things of that nature. Definitely, if you can get it for less, do that, because there's no difference in the quality. You can get them on Amazon. They're also a lot more affordable on Amazon than at Sephora, but I recommend it nonetheless. Maybe just a cheaper model of it. Okay. All right, let's do this one because this is actually about the face as well. This is collagen, and I'll tell you what they claim collagen is good for, and then I'll tell you my personal experience with it as well. So first of all, this particular collagen I get in Trader Joe's. It's 10 bucks. I love it because when I'm doing my regular grocery run, I can pick it up and it's affordable. Are there better ones? I'm sure there are. This is just super convenient, and it's kind of like maybe like the entry-level collagen, because I'm sure there's better ones. I like it because you can dissolve it in both hot and cold liquid, and that's a big one because I will actually add this to my morning coffee. I actually don't drink coffee, I drink matcha. I lied. I add it to my morning matcha. This comes with a scooper. The scooper is actually in a glass canister that lives by my matcha station, so I can't show you the scooper, but you'll basically take one scoop, you'll add this to whatever. Like I said, I add it to my morning matcha. They claim that this is good for joint health, it promotes healthy skin and nails, and it maintains healthy hair. So I'm going to tell you, definitely I would agree with that assessment here. The biggest way that I have actually seen benefit is twofold. So first of all, joint health. This is a complete game changer, especially if you take many days off in between working out, then you can kind of like stiffen up in between. So having something like this helps tremendously. This also has helped, because here's the thing, collagen is something that your body produces naturally, but it declines as we get older. So to that end, if we're not doing like certain procedures to our face that's going to help with collagen production, you can maybe start to have like droopy skin or like a sallow appearance. This definitely helps keep my skin brighter. Could I say definitively it's more firm? Maybe, I don't know, but it's definitely a lot more bright when I use this. And this combined with what I shared last time, which are those biotin gummies from Vegemore, my nails and my hair are super, super healthy. So I definitely recommend this or anything like this. Collagen is fabulous for all sorts of different things and all sorts of different reasons. Here is something else that I add to my morning matcha. This is cacao. This is raw cacao, not cocoa, cacao. There's a difference. So first of all, I got also this cacao in, I do almost all my grocery shopping in Trader Joe's. I got it, a bag of raw unfiltered, I think organic cacao, 10 bucks also in Trader Joe's by the frozen section, by the frozen fruit, because I guess people add this to smoothies. I know I certainly do. So I don't remember all of the benefits of cacao. I'll tell you why I specifically take it. And yes, I will take about half a teaspoon of this and I will add this into my morning matcha, and I'll add like about a full teaspoon of this into any smoothie that I make. That is because the cacao is a natural antidepressant. And as I have shared with you guys, I twice have weaned myself off of synthetic anti-anxiety and antidepressants. And yes, I'm actually going to be doing a longer, I'm not sure if it's going to be its own video or if it's going to be in the Ask Me Anything, but I know that the question has come up what we can do if we want to get off of it. And again, I'm going to share my personal experience with that. This is something that has helped as has something else that I'm going to talk about in a moment. So I definitely like adding this. It needs to be stirred. It's not quite so like water soluble like the collagen is, but you'll just give it a good stir. This will just make your matcha or coffee or whatever you're drinking taste a little bit more like robust and flavorful. And in smoothies, this is just divine. Can't say enough good things about cacao, okay? Now, another thing, these are things that I add actually to my water on a daily basis. So prior to having, there we go. Prior to having my matcha in the morning, I will take some water and I add these two things to it. So one of them is alcohol-free lemon balm. There's one with alcohol and then there's one without, and there's really no need for it to have alcohol. So we'll only buy the alcohol-free version. You can get this in Whole Foods or Sprouts or stores like that. And I believe this was, I want to say maybe like $10 to $15, something like that. And it's a nice sized bottle. It's 1 fluid ounce. And for this is great for your nervous system. This is again something that is something that's going to be very beneficial to take if you're weaning yourself off of synthetic medications. So I add 1 full dropper of this to about 2 ounces of water. And then with it, I add the advanced Fulvic. Now this is from a company called Cociva. Cociva, I have 2 products from Cociva. One I'm actually out of right now, and I can't show it to you, but I can tell you about it. This is it's a humic acid and micronutrient formula. And the reason that you're going to be adding this to your water, and this bottle will go a really long way, because you're not adding a full drop, you're adding a single, you're not adding a full dropper, it's 1 single drop. Because when I first got it, I didn't read the instructions and I did a whole full dropper, and it was just too much goodness that one time. It made my stomach feel not so happy. And then I read the instructions and I was like, I was not meant to do that. No wonder I'm not feeling quite so happy right now. But the advanced Fulvic, so this is minerals. These are minerals that you want to have in your diet. Now, why do you want to add minerals in? Because the item that I used up and that I can't show you is actually also the item that I earn commission on. It's called, it's a TRS, and it is a heavy metal detoxifier. I will link it down below so you can look into it if you want to. Now, the reason that I recommend them is that if you have ever gotten anything like this, not just for the C19, but all of those have high concentrations of heavy metal in them. And there are things that are being put into the air through airplanes, or coming out of airplanes is a better way of putting it. Those things have also been tested and they also have heavy metal. So we are basically being inundated with heavy metals from the time we're born all the way through the rest of our life. And an accumulation of heavy metals in our system is highly toxic. So you actually want to detox the heavy metals. So the TRS is a zeolite, and what it does is it binds to the heavy metals in your body, and then through working out and sweating, you will be able to detox it, and through drinking water and things like that. And I noticed a huge improvement in the brain fog that I was experiencing when I was religiously using the TRS, which is why I'm out of it right now. But what that will also do is, because it's binding to the heavy metals, it's also going to draw the healthy and beneficial minerals out of your body. So what you want to do is you want to add it back in. So that is why I will add these two to about 4 ounces of water in the morning. This, the lemon balm gets 1 whole dropper, and this gets 1 drop of a dropper in it. And this is to add the minerals back into your body that have been stripped out of it. So I'm going to link this down below. This is, I believe this bottle was $30. It's on the pricier side. And the TRS, I think depending on if you set up for like auto ship, or if you just do one single time, it's between $60 or $70. It is worth it. Like, I'm not gonna come on here and recommend something that's pricey if I personally don't myself use it. And the reason I'm out of it is because I use it so religiously. You can also give it to your littles. It tastes like water. It's clear like water. You will just spray it in your mouth, And you can, the full ultimate dose for a grown-up is 5 sprays in your mouth, but you can also take your time to build up to the full dosage. Again, with something like that, you want to make sure that you're detoxing. So you want to make sure that you're exercising and you're sweating and you're drinking lots of water, because you want it to come out of your body, and those are 2 great ways that you're going to actually detox. Okay, so Whole Foods or Sprouts, and this is Cosiva's website, linked down below. Okay, in addition to that, here's something else that I add to my water every day. This probably looks familiar to you. This is apple cider vinegar. And this I will add to about 4 ounces of water. I will add 1 teaspoon of this to it. Now, apple cider vinegar is great, and it tastes a little bitter. So if you don't like the bitter taste, you can actually get apple cider gummy, like daily vitamins that you can take. I like to know that what I'm taking is working, and I can definitely feel this working through my system after I take it. Now, this is going to provide alkalinity to your body. This is also great to help with digestion, and they're actually discovering right now that it will also help if you have, sorry, this is gross, but it's real, if you have intestinal parasites of any kind, this is going to help with that. So again, it can be a little bit of a full body taste. You can get the gummies if you don't like it. I like to know that what I take is working, so I will add 1 teaspoon of this to my water every day. This bottle, it's a big bottle, it's 16 ounces. Again, you're gonna use 1 teaspoon daily. I think I got this in, some local grocery store. I think it was like $13 for this whole bottle. They also have a bigger size as well. Great for digestion, big fan to take in the morning and at night, okay? Here is something else that I take for digestion. So I'm just now starting to learn all about the health benefits of sauerkraut and fermented foods. I went to Sprouts and I got this. I genuinely really like this. I got it because it's sweet. This is the apple and hops flavor. I don't know what hops are. This is a company called, I don't know if you can see it, Live Culture Live Ferments. This I believe was $7 in Sprouts. I will eat about 1 tablespoon of this prior to like eating dinner. This is really good because first of all, it's USDA organic. It is raw wild probiotic. This is going to add into your system a lot of the friendly bacteria that our body actually needs to thrive and to survive. Our stomach is actually being referred to as our second brain, because they're now starting to find out that a lot of disease is actually born in the stomach, and it's born in the stomach because of the lack of the healthy bacteria that we need in there to support healthy brain and bodily function. So when we consume things like this, it will add it back into our system. And if you are like me, and you are anybody that has any time in your life ever had antibiotics, what does antibiotics do? It actually will destroy the healthy, friendly, beneficial bacteria in your gut. So it's always good to have something like this on hand. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, like especially my mom, because my mom watches my videos, she's gonna be like, but I have yogurt after I have consumed antibiotics. And that's great. But here's the thing. The number of bacteria that's in yogurt is not nearly highly enough that it's actually going to replenish what was lost in your system. Then you might ask, what about oral tablets that I can take that have probiotics? Great question. Unless those are something that are double, like are a pill in a pill, the acid in your stomach is actually going to dissolve it before it gets to your intestines, which is where you want it to be. There is one brand, I don't remember what it is. There is one company that I know somebody actually swears by because it is double protected, and that means that your stomach acid is only going to dissolve the outside layer. It's going to continue to get into your intestines, where it will be further digested and where it will actually release all the probiotic there. But regular yogurt is just not going to cut it. Regular yogurt does not have nearly enough of the probiotic enzymes that you need to rebuild the depletion of that friendly gut biome. So things like this, I definitely like it. It's sweet, $7, Sprouts, someplace like that. It lives in the fridge. And I can definitely feel it kind of like, it almost feels like it's soothing my stomach once I've consumed it. So I like it. Give it a try. Let me know what you think of it. All right, here's another good one. So this is Celtic Sea Salt. I got this in Whole Foods. I believe the bottle was maybe five, 6, 7, something like around there. It's big, it's 8 ounces. Now, I actually add this to my water. I know that sounds crazy. It does not make your water taste salty, not even a little bit. Now, the reason that you want to add something like this or Celtic Sea Salt into your water in your first place is that this will remineralize your water. See, a lot of the stuff that I do is about adding minerals back into my body. They are now starting to discover that a lot of the sickness, illness, and diseases are mineral deficiencies. So the more that you can add minerals back into your diet, the healthier your body will actually be. This has 2 different openers. You can either do, I don't know if you can see that, there's little holes, and I'll sprinkle the water into the, I'll sprinkle this into the water. There's also a bigger mouth. I won't do that because I don't want too much of it. But basically you just pour this into your water, a couple of shakes of it in. It will add necessary minerals to your water. Now, another good thing about this is that our water has been so stripped bare of essential nutrients in it. And because of that, you can actually find that you're going to be drinking and drinking and drinking, and you'll never feel satiated and your thirst will never feel quenched. But when you add salt into it, you will actually end up drinking less water than you did before, because it will actually satiate your thirst, because you're getting the essential nutrients that you need from your water. So Celtic Sea Salt, recommend, a couple of bucks in Whole Foods. Try it, let me know what you think. All right, another one. Let's do this guy. Okay, this is a Neti Pot. I swear by my Neti Pot. I got this in CVS. This is a plastic one. They also have a ceramic one. My ceramic one broke. I happen to have a backup. That's what I'm showing to you. This one was, I believe, $15 in CVS. It also came with the salt, little salt tablets that you can add to it, because on its own, the water is not going to be beneficial. You're going to need to use either salt with it or the salt packets that come with this. And you're going to add, there's a max fill line. It's about here, okay? So you're going to add to the max fill line with filtered water. Very important that it is filtered water. We're going to discuss regular water next. But you're going to add filtered water into here. You're going to put either a teaspoon of regular salt or the salt packets that this comes with in. You're going to put the cover on. You're going to close the spout, and you're just going to shake this guy up until it's evenly dispersed. Then you're going to turn your head to one side. You're going to use half on one side, blow your nose. You're going to use the other half on the other side. These are fantastic if you're starting to feel like you're coming down with something, you're getting sick, you're becoming congested, or you already are congested and you want to naturally decongest yourself. This is fabulous. Neti Pots are a must. There's people who use them every day as like a natural like irrigation of your nostrils. I personally don't. I only use it like on when I need to use it versus like all the time. Can't say enough good things about this. For only $15, it's definitely the way to go. You also will not need to use over-the-counter decongestants when you have something like this, okay? And if you're looking to cut like those synthetic medications out of your life, that's a good alternative. Now, to that end, I'm also going to talk about these 2 guys right here. So these are actually made from a local homeopath that lives in LA. I'll link these down below if you want to order from her. She does ship. So this is the Decongestant Salve, And this you can rub on your chest if you're feeling congested. You can rub it on your feet, and then you can put socks on. It smells actually amazing. It smells kind of the way like Vicks does, but like the natural version of Vicks. This is what it looks like. Now, what I will also do, because I am prone to sinus infections, so when I am getting a sinus infection, I will take the Decongestant Salve and I will massage that all into my sinuses on my face. It's incredible because a couple of minutes after I massage this on, I will feel everything start to open up, and then I can start to blow my nose and it all comes out. So these two are a 1-2 punch as a natural eliminator of congestion when you're experiencing it. Okay, these two right here. I also have from her the Cayenne Salve. This is, I'm saying that like solve. I'm not solving like a murder mystery, it's a salve. Sorry, my bad. But the Cayenne Salve is also good if you are feeling any physical like inflammation in your body and you want to bring it down naturally. Then you can take something like this and you can rub it onto those places on your body. Now, if it's someplace like your head, you can't necessarily massage a salve into it. I mean, maybe it's your forehead, but if the headache's like in your hair, that's not really a viable solution. So to that end, I have this. I don't remember where I got it, so I can't link it, but you can look for it. This is Sovereign Laboratories. It's organic curcumin. Okay, so this I will take. This naturally brings down inflammation. And this is great as an alternative to something like Tylenol or Advil or anything like that. If you're looking to start to remove items like that out of your home, that is something that I have recently done. I feel a lot better for it. I like having healthier alternatives in my home personally. This is definitely not for everyone, but if this is a path you want to go down, just so you know, there are lots of different options that are available that are tried and true. Okay, so curcumin naturally brings down inflammation in your body if it's someplace that a topical salve is not a practical application to put it on. Okay. Another thing that I really like to take when I'm starting to feel like I'm sick, I don't actually take it. I'll immediately move the humidifier into the bedroom, and then I will add fresh eucalyptus oil into it. This is Acacia. I think I got it in like Whole Foods for, honestly, I don't even remember, maybe $10, $15, something like that. This is great to add to a humidifier if the actual eucalyptus leaves itself are not in season or not readily available for you yourself to get and to like put in your shower. You can also put a few drops of this into the bath if you're taking a bath, or if your littles are taking a bath. This is a really, really great option. I also have another one which is a little out there, but I mean, it's no more out there than anything we talk about in our Behind the Veil videos, so I'll mention it to you. So when me or my little are starting to get sick, I will take an onion, I will peel it, I will slice it in half. I will put the onion in our bedroom next to the beds, and then every day I will replace it. You get a fresh onion in there. Now the reason for that is onions are said to be highly detoxifying. They will actually draw toxins out of your body. Here's another wild one, again, no wilder than anything else, that's why I'll share it. You can actually also dice up an onion, and you will put it into saran wrap. You will put it onto your feet, and then you will wrap it around your foot, and then you will put a sock on top of that. You will sleep with that on top of your foot, and in the morning, when you take that off, you should be feeling a lot better because, again, it's drawing the toxins out of your body. So you can try that next time. Let me know how that goes. Another one, okay, these actually I got in Trader Joe's, and these are meant, I think they're meant like for cooking. They're great for cooking too. This is crushed ginger and crushed garlic, okay? And the reason that I love these is because, again, when you're starting to get sick, they are already broken down into little cubes. So it makes it really, really convenient if you want to make yourself a tea and you want to have these items on hand, that you don't have to be like grating fresh ginger, or you don't have to make it in, I know a lot of people will actually make it in advance. They'll crush the ginger, they'll crush the garlic, they'll add that with lemon, and they'll freeze it into like the little freezer ice cube trays. that's great, but here they're doing all of the work for you, it's ready to go. So when you start to feel like these live in my freezer all year round. Anytime I start to feel like I'm getting sick, I will take this out, I will put a cube or two into hot water, and I will add honey on top of that, and bada bing, bada boom, it is the greatest thing that you can take when you're starting to feel like you're coming down with something. Now, something I will add honey to this. The thing about honey that you want to be careful about, I'm just discovering this myself, is you want to make sure that honey is first of all organic and it's glyphosate free. Now, the reason for that is that they say that non-organic honey is synthetic honey, and it's no better than pure sugar. So that's why I personally will always buy organic honey. Unless you're buying it like at a farmer's market and you know the actual farm that it's coming from, then you'll know that it's not synthetic honey. Now, the other reason that you want to get organic honey is because otherwise it can be sprayed with Roundup, and Roundup has glyphosate in it, and glyphosate is something that was originally, and I'm just discovering this myself, guys, so I hope that I'm going to be able to deliver the information adequately, but it is something that was originally designed to unclog cruddy pipes. So pipes that had like a lot of crud and shit like caked in it. So that main ingredient would decalcify the pipes. Now imagine what it's doing to your internal system then. The glyphosate is actually going to be stripping the essential nutrients out of your body that we need for optimum health. So that's why you want to buy glyphosate-free honey and anything else that has a glyphosate-free on it, because we need our minerals. And I think, as I had said just a few minutes ago, a lot of the diseases and sickness and illnesses are now, it's coming out that it is due to a mineral deficiency in our body. So very, very important, glyphosate-free honey, and in any way that we can to remineralize our body. So again, it's either going to be with something like this, right, our fulvic acid, or here's another one, okay? I'm going to talk about this one, and then I'm going to talk about an alternative, although I have not tried the alternative, so I can't speak for it. This one I have tried, and I swear by it. This is Wild Crafted Sea Moss, fresh out of the ocean. I bought this directly from the company around Black Friday. I think it was like buy 2 bags, get a third one free, and free shipping. And I think altogether 3 bags of this was about $25, I want to say. I'm going to link the website down below. Now, this is the amazing thing about this. I'm going to read to you the benefits that are listed on the back. So, benefits. It has 92 out of 102 minerals, okay? It provides mucus relief, thyroid support, respiratory health, brain health, libido support. It provides an alkaline state for your body, hair health. It's a superfood, prenatal support, an energy boost, and immune system support, as well as iron, okay? So this is the first bag. So in 3 months' time, I've only used up less than 3/4 of the bag, because this makes a shit ton. So I'm going to show it to you in its raw state, and then I'll show it to you. I have it back here when it's actually like when you make it into a consumable state. This is what it looks like, okay? So you can't really eat it on its own, and this is what you basically do to prepare it. So the recipe on the back calls for 1/2 cup of this, and what you're going to do is per 1/2 cup, you're going to take the juice of 1 lemon and 6 cups of water. Now here's the thing, if you're going to double or triple this, you don't need to double or triple the water, because that's just a lot of water. And you also want to make sure that you're using filtered water as well, okay? But what you're going to do if you want to prepare this is you're going to put this into a strainer, and then I have a filtered faucet on my water, so I will use the filtered water and I'll rinse it until it feels softer and less grainy. Then I will add this to a pot of water with the juice of the lemon, and then enough water to cover it and then some. So again, if you're double or tripling this, you don't have to use like 12 or 18 cups of water. That's a lot. But maybe about like, I would say 10 to 12 ounces of water. And you leave it and you let it soak overnight. And then in the morning, this will expand. It gets big. That's why you need to have enough water to cover it. And then I'll pour out most of the water, not all of it, because here's why. Then you're gonna blend this up in a blender. But it becomes quite gelatinous, and you will need to add water to facilitate the blending of it. Otherwise, it's too gelatinous, your blender just won't work. I've done it, trust me, I've done it. So that's why I'm saying you wanna keep some of the water. That will in turn make, I have just a little bit left right now. This is the end version of that. So it's a gelatinous, okay? And even I would say when I triple the recipe and I'm using 1.5 cups, it will only fill this up about half. It makes a ton, which is why I have a ton left. So the 3 bags that I got will probably last about a year, if not longer. I add this to smoothies. I can definitely tell you, this is so good for your energy, so good for your brain. I feel like I just can take on the world if I have this in my smoothie every day. Yes, minerals are our friend, okay? So I'm a big supporter of this stuff. Now, I put it in my smoothie. Not every day can I make a smoothie. Not every day do I have time, or not every day do I want to. So to that end, I actually ordered supplements just last night that are sea moss supplements. I haven't taken them, so I don't feel I can recommend them to you because I can't speak for how well they work. But after I've taken it for some period of time, if I feel like it's comparable to this, I will share it in the community section with a photo and a link of that particular item, okay? So yes, sea moss, our friend. Gelatinous, you wanna add it to something to take away and give it more of like a nice flavor, okay? But it's the bomb. It's thebomb.com. Okay, what's another thing that I want to talk to you about? We did that. Okay. Here's another one. So in my pursuit of trying to make my home as healthy as possible, I would say this was about 10 years ago. I stopped using regular deodorants. And I stopped using them because they have aluminum in them. And you're applying aluminum to a place where you have your lymphatic system connects to the rest of your body. And that's not good. We're spreading, we're spreading a heavy metal around the entirety of our system through our lymphatic system. So about 10 years ago, I stopped using regular deodorants, and I started using kind of like the entry-level one that everybody talks about or everybody tries. It's called Crystal, right? It's like a regular roll-on like everything else. And then I graduated from that and I started using Schmidt's. And then I found this one that I really, really like. It's from a company called Little Seed Farm. I love the ingredients. It's just a little bit different than a regular deodorant that you're gonna be used to. It has like a little stick that you can use to apply it. Right now it's the winter, so it's quite solid, but in the summer it's a lot looser that it can be applied much more easily. But the ingredients are so unbelievably clean and it smells amazing. And I'm a sucker for a good coconut smell, so I got the coconut cream. Before this, I used a fruity or a flowery one. I love that too. They're all amazing. You can get them either directly from the website for the company itself, littleseedfarm.com, or you can get these on Amazon. They are about $2 more on Amazon. Just be aware of that. But you'll get them quicker, so it's a trade-off. But the ingredients on this are arrowroot powder, magnesium hydroxide, coconut oil, jojoba oil, beeswax, vegetable glycerin, and coconut fruit extract, and it is certified organic. So now we're starting to understand just how unhealthy synthetic fragrances are, which is why I like something that's a healthier fragrance. So first of all, synthetic fragrances can be any number of a toxic blend. They are endocrine disruptors. What is an endocrine disruptor? It is going to negatively impair the function, the function of your body. And anything that is an endocrine disruptor can actually negatively impact your fertility as well. So there's a reason that men's sperm count is down 50% in the last decade. It's because of these false fragrances. These endocrine disruptors are in like almost every personal care item that's you can purchase, unless you will like start reading the ingredients and picking out like the healthier ones that are made with natural fragrances, like essential oils. But anything that says natural fragrances, run for the fucking hills. That shit is a big endocrine disruptor. Okay? Another one that I love, and then I'm going to talk about what's not here, which is water. And then we're going to also talk about, in addition to the things that you're bringing into your life, there's a number of important things to take out of your life as well. And we're going to talk about that after. This I got on Amazon. You can also purchase it in Target. This is from a brand called Rae. It is the Rebalance Supplement. Okay, and these, as a woman, when our hormones are going to change throughout the month, I like to feel more like myself the entirety of the month. I don't want to feel like I'm a hijacked version of myself, right? And that can sometimes happen. So I have been taking these. The dosage calls for 2 a day. I take 1 a day, and I already can tell you I feel a big difference in myself. I feel more like balanced in myself. Even just taking 1. 2 of them are quite strong. And this is what it looks like. It's a little bit minty. For me, a complete game changer. Like if you really do feel like your hormones take you for a ride, if you feel quite hormonal, or you have a lot of the markers of PMS, this is fabulous. Like I feel so great, so even keeled. I feel like myself on a good day, right? Like even when I'm having the other physical symptoms that perhaps will come with it being that time of the month, the mood is completely balanced and regulated because of this. So these have worked for me. If you're going to use them, let me know how they work for you. I think they are just fantastic. But again, personally, this has worked for me. Please try it and decide for yourself. It's something that works for you. I think that's all the goodies that I have here. So this is what I want to say specifically about water, which is as follows, that our water supply is very, very compromised right now. So I can't show you the filters that I have because I'm not going to take them off, but I have one on my sink faucet, I have one on my shower, and I also have one on the bath for my son, so when he bathes, he's getting filtered water. And here's why. So we know for a fact, and I think maybe it's not like in Teaneck or New Jersey, because I have a friend that actually lives in New Jersey, and she said she checked and they don't add fluoride to the water supply in New Jersey. But definitely like out here in California, I know that it's added. And fluoride does a couple of things. It has been said that fluoride is actually good for your teeth and your gum health. But here is what fluoride actually does, which is fluoride is going to calcify your pineal gland. And where's your pineal gland? It's right here. It's a bone that sits at the location of your third eye. And the third eye, for anyone who's curious and doesn't know, the third eye is where our intuition and our ability to access our gifts and other abilities are located. So if this is completely calcified, you're going to be out of touch with your intuition, you're going to be out of touch with yourself. So you're not going to be living your full, vibrant self. And that is because of fluoride. So we want to make sure that we're not consuming fluoride on an ongoing basis, and we also want to make sure that we're going to decalcify it. And I'm going to talk about what you can actually do to decalcify your pineal gland. But one thing you can do is to filter your water. Now, your skin is your largest organ. So if you are drinking water that's fluoridated, and if you're bathing and showering in it, your body is absorbing that all, right? So it doesn't matter if you decalcify your pineal gland, but you don't have filtration systems on your water supply, because you're just going to be bombarding yourself with it again. So I have a pure water filter on my kitchen faucet, and that has a blinking light, so I know when I need to be replacing it. The filtration system that I have for my shower is a 4-pack that I get on Amazon. I will link that down below because it is a different kind of an item. It's a 4-pack that I believe is about $30 or $32. Well worth it. And I will replace my filter on the shower every 2 to 3 months. Whether or not I feel I need to, because the water here in LA is so bad. So I'm always replacing that every 2 to 3 months, whether or not I think I need to. But if I've gone too long, my body will be sure to tell me because my skin will feel a lot more dry, my hair will feel more dry, and I actually break out into a rash on my arms. And I think that is my body's way of naturally trying to detoxify all of the pollutants that are in the water supply. And then as soon as I will replace that filter, my skin feels soft again, and I feel better. I feel like I can think more clearly even. Now, in addition to fluoride being in our water, I don't off the top of my head remember everything. I'm just going to share a couple of the things that I definitely recall. So there is fluoride, there is also chlorine in our water supply, there are heavy metals in our water supply, and here's the kicker. There are pharmaceuticals in our water supply as well. I can't remember which ones. There's 2 to 4 specific ones that was actually listed on the filtration system that I got, that it says it actually does filter it out. But pharmaceuticals, that's a big hell no, okay? And so yes, very important to use a filtration system. I find. Everybody do you do you. I'm just sharing what's worked for me. So yes, I have on my kitchen sink, my shower, my bathtub. The bathtub filter, it looks like a little bowl that attaches to the part that the water comes out, and the water goes in it, and then it filters through all the particles that are in the water. I replace that roughly every month to month and a half because there's a lot more water that is being used, and I feel like it needs to be replaced on an ongoing basis. That filter is about $20 a month. Now, if you're building a house, you can obviously do like an in-home filtration system that you won't have to add filters onto everything specifically. You know, I'm renting here. This is not mine. At some point, I'm going to move on to a different place. And these are things that I can use that I know that I can take with me wherever I go. And more importantly, they're efficient and I know that they work. Now, for drinking water, I actually use a, it's on my counter right now. I should have brought it, but I didn't. But it's like a big ass thing. It's called Zero Water, and I got the big boy because me and my son drink a ton of water. And this is what I did. This is the hack. You can get them in Target. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them all over the place. Get them at Bed Bath & Beyond. Use your 20% coupon because it's about $50, $60. Get that 20% off. You can get a 2-pack or a 4-pack of the filters themselves. There's a tester on the water bottle, so you can dip the tester into the water to actually test it. We'll tell you what the acceptable number on the filter itself is. It's 6 up to 6. Once I even see it at 1, I will replace it. That's basically saying that there is 6 particles per million. I don't know what those 6 particles are. That's 6 too many particles for me. So as soon as I see even 1, I will replace it. Yes, the filters are expensive. They are in Target where I get them. The 2-pack is about $30 and the 4-pack is about $60. But again, like, I want to be living in as optimal health as I possibly can. I can only do what I can do. So this is part of what I can do. You can get the filters also at Bed Bath & Beyond with a 20% off coupon. I just have a Target that's more centrally located. That's what I myself do. Now, there is 2 other systems that I'm looking into. They are more of an investment up front, but from my understanding, they are unbelievable. One of them is called the Berkey system. It's anywhere from $300 to $600, but those filters last a year versus these, which last maybe like 1 month. And those filters are about $100 a pop. So it's more of an investment up front, but it's less of an investment on a month-to-month basis. That's the Berkey. Then there's another one called Aqua True. And Aqua True also has an option that you can do a reverse osmosis process. That machine is, I think, about $400 new, and I'm not aware of how much the filters are. because I'm more leaning towards getting a Berkey. I'm actually saving up for one right now, than the Aqua True, which is why Berkey, I'm a little bit more knowledgeable about it. I also want to switch at some point from plastic. I have plastic BPA bottles that I drink my water out of. I want to, at some point, completely upgrade to copper because copper has a lot of health benefits. Here's the thing, I can't find a copper water bottle larger than 16 ounces. That's going to be a downgrade for me because this is 72 ounces. And I go through about 70 ounces of water a day. So I will drink the majority of this on a daily basis. And that's just a lot more like work to be constantly like running back and like refilling it. And also, where am I refilling it from? Like if I'm out of the house and I run out of water, well shit, you're out of luck then. Because I'm not going to be like going into like my friend's house and using her faucet, right? So it has to be filtered water. So that means I need to be home and I need to have it on an ongoing basis. But ultimately, that is my goal, to switch to copper water bottles at some point. But yes, you can get BPA plastic bottles. They say that glass is better than even plastic, even if it is BPA free, because you can find microparticles in plastic that you're not going to find in glass. The problem with glass is, even if they have a rubber thingy on it, they still break and they're a lot more expensive than plastic. So just some things for me to share with you in terms of like what my thought process is with the particular water bottles that I use, but the filtered water itself is an absolute must. Our water is so badly like polluted and corrupted at this point. Two more things that are an absolute essential must for me. One of them is exercise. I just don't feel like myself if I'm not exercising. So I will try to make it to yoga between 3 to 5 days a week if I can. Yes, I'm a yoga teacher. I know I can practice at home. I like personally the energy of the class, so I will try to go whenever I can make it. And then I've recently supplemented my yoga workout with another one, which I'm happy to share with you guys. It is, I do the Tracy Anderson method. I'm not a member to her website because it's very, very expensive. It was 90 and I think it's actually gone up, 90 a month. That's a lot. And you can find like a ton of her workouts online for free on YouTube. And I will link the one that I have done down below. I've tried a bunch of hers. This to me, just when I'm done with the workout, my body just resonates to it. I just love it. So that's why I'm going to share it with you guys. The workout doesn't start until 8 minutes. You can go into the comments. You can see that somebody actually tagged when the workout itself starts, and you can just go from there. It's fabulous. For me, it's been the perfect, it's the perfect thing to balance with yoga because it's a workout for women, designed by a woman, and it targets different parts of the body that are more of like a woman's concern than anything that you're going to get like on Nike Fit or something like that. Like I was using the Nike Fit app for a long time, but a lot of that were like exercises that are going to bulk you up. Like it's a lot of things with weights. It's a lot of lunges. It's a lot of, everyone's body wants that. Mine certainly didn't. And not everyone's body wants exercises that are going to make you bulk up. I like doing exercises that lean me out. That's why I do yoga. It's about making the muscles long and lean. And that's why the Tracy Anderson method is a perfect accompaniment to it as well, because she comes at it from a dancer's perspective. So it's the same kind of like idea of lengthening and elongating the muscles, not compressing and bulking up the muscles. So those things have worked for me, okay? And I've linked them down below. Now, lastly, I just want to take a few minutes to talk about this is all about things that we can add to our life that will help enhance it. I'm just going to spend a few minutes talking about things that I have personally taken out of my life that I have also benefited from as well. And again, this is just what has worked for me. Please take it or leave it. I'm not in any way, shape, or form suggesting that these are things you yourself do or that these are things that you yourself do. Okay, this is just has worked for me. So these are the things that I personally have taken out of my life that have been quite beneficial for me. Number one, alcohol. I haven't had any alcoholic beverage in approximately 2 years, maybe even a little bit longer since I went through my spiritual awakening. I was not a heavy drinker before, but I was first of all a social drinker. You know, I would go out with friends, I would have a glass of wine, you know, liquid courage. And then I would be known to like want to have like a nice glass of wine at home, even by myself, to unwind. I am so glad I cut it out. My gifts and abilities have been so much enhanced because I have taken alcohol out of my life. So that I'm never going back. Like, yes, people could say, oh, you're so boring to be at a party with. You know what? You're getting the actual me. You're not getting like the fun party loose version of Faye. You're getting the authentic version. And I think that's a lot more exciting to hang out with the real interpretation of a person instead of the enhanced version that has been let loose because of alcohol. Another thing is porn. I've spoken extensively about porn in my last Ask Me Anything. You can go back and watch that. Toxic anything, okay? So it's toxic household supplies, it's toxic people, it's anything that is toxic. Toxic cleaning supplies, toxic endocrine disruptors, toxic food, anything. People that don't make me feel good, see that under, you know, toxic as well. The news. Consuming violence of any kind, that's a big no. Even if it's a movie, I will not watch a violent movie. I've asked my friends to stop sharing articles with me that are containing any level of violence in it. I just don't want that in my periphery. Other people's drama, seriously, let them keep that shit with them. If somebody is coming into me with drama, that's a big hell no. I have to protect my energy at all costs, and drama is a big disruptor of high vibration. So other people's drama, no. Stress of any kind. Here's the thing. Yes, I understand this is a three-dimensional world, and stress is a part of the human experience. We can, again, only do what we can do. So to that end, by eliminating stress in any way, shape, or form that I can, right? We can only do what we can do. Managing it and eliminating as best I can. Fear, that's a big one. That's a really, really low vibration. So any fear of any kind, get that shit out. A big one is the TV and the programming and the news. You cut that out, a lot of the fear that comes with it will be eradicated. Programming of any kind, so to that end, I really don't watch a lot of TV. I've maybe turned my TV on once in the last 2 months. It's programming. Every once in a while, I'll turn it on just for like shits and giggles to see what's out there. I can assure you, every time I turn it on, I'm like, now I remember why I don't watch TV anymore. So programming of any kind. Synthetic fragrances, right? I spoke about that. That's an endocrine disruptor. And two more that are interesting that I'm gonna come with a little bit more information. One of them is sunglasses, okay? Why sunglasses? So first of all, our body needs sunlight. We need it on our skin because that's how we produce natural vitamin D. We also need to absorb it through our eyes. And when we are always wearing sunglasses, when we are out and about, whether we're driving or we're going for a walk or whatever it is, your eyes are not actually absorbing the necessary amount of sunlight that we need. We need sunlight because they're going to help with our hormone production. What's one of the hormones that's important to regulate our sleep is melatonin. So if we are not absorbing enough sunlight, either through our eyes or through our skin, it's going to compromise our natural circadian rhythm. And I find it not a coincidence that so many people are actually taking oral sleeping medication now. And is it perhaps connected to the fact that we are wearing sunglasses more and more, and we are spending more and more time indoors? Right? We are, we're in office buildings, in offices with the fluorescent lights on. We'll eat our lunch at our desk. Maybe not getting outside for that natural vitamin D. Or here's the thing, maybe even like living in a location where you can get really, really long and hard winters. So what do you do in that case? Well, you can get a light that will actually sit on your desk that mimics natural sunlight. So this is a great way to, if you are somebody that is maybe taking an oral medication to help you sleep, just by ramping up your actual sunlight intake it should help regulate your circadian rhythm a little bit more effectively. So sunglasses are a big no-no. If I'm driving, I will just put down the visor instead, but I will not wear sunglasses, me personally. And the last one is seed oils. So I have recently eliminated seed oils from the entirety of my home. And that is because me and my son discovered somebody, he has his own app. He's wonderful, highly recommend him. Maybe you even are following him already. His name is Bobby, and he's from FlavCity. Now he has an app, it's a free app, it's called Bobby Approved. You can take it with you to the grocery store. You can scan anything that you want to buy, and he will tell you if it's Bobby approved or not. Now, is he a crutch? No, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you're learning while you're actually doing all of those things. Because it doesn't just tell you if it's Bobby approved or not. You can actually scroll down when you take a photo and it tells you if it's not approved, and it will give you a list of the ingredients and what of the ingredients is egregious. So you're actually learning to read the labels and learning to discern what are the ingredients that are not good for you. So at some point you won't need it at all. You'll just be able to read the ingredients and you'll say, is this something I want to bring into my house or not? So seed oils, first of all, are highly, highly inflammatory. Anything that is going to cause inflammation in your body is something that could potentially lead to sickness, illness, and dis-ease. And since I've actually cut all seed oils, so we literally use the scanner on every item in our home, and I got rid of every single thing that is not Bobby approved. And most of the biggest offenders in the food that I was purchasing were seed oils or was sugar. So just by eliminating all of those things, I can tell you in 1 week's time, I felt such a massive improvement in the way that I felt. I was sleeping better, I was waking up feeling a lot less achy. And then one day I actually had eaten something. I thought I had read the label. I actually had read the label of the item before it, put that item down, took this item, put it into my cart, ate it, and the next morning I felt like I had been hit by a truck. My body was so unbelievably achy. I had a headache because it's like we almost don't know how good our body is designed to feel. We're used to, on some level, because of the highly processed foods that we eat, on some level we've kind of gotten used to like feeling bad all the time. And it's only once we take all of those things out and we start to feel better can we notice how good our body is designed to feel. So this has been absolutely life-changing for me. It's been remarkable, the difference that I have felt in 1 week's time. And I really like feeling empowered and knowing what are the ingredients that I'm consuming. And I also really like, if you watch his stories on Instagram, he doesn't just tell you what's bad, he'll take you into the grocery store and he'll show you what are good options. So even like with snacks that I get, right? I feel a lot more confident having those things in my house. If it's a snack that's not like fruit, but if it's like chips or anything like that, I feel a lot better knowing that the ingredients in it are not toxic, not bad ingredients, and they're ingredients that are actually going to support my health and my well-being long term. So this was a long one. I hope that you guys have found this to be very, very interesting and beneficial. And of course, my intention in this is not ever to make anybody feel like they're not doing enough to support their health and well-being. The changes that I have implemented have taken me a long time, because here's the thing, when we try to do everything all at once, it can feel so unbelievably overwhelming. And even now, the more I learn, the more I realize there's so much more that I can continue to do. But it's been slow. It's been such a slow progression for me, and that is what has made it been something that I can sustain, because it was slow. So please don't watch this video and think that you need to take every item in your house and throw it out, and you need to take everything and you need to replace it with this. Absolutely not. These are just some things that, if you're interested about making these changes slowly to support your health and well-being, these are just some things that I think could possibly work for you, but try them out for yourself and see how they resonate with you. And as always, guys, the intention of all of my videos is to provide information that is thought-provoking and maybe even different. So if you have found this video to be thought-provoking, then please go ahead and smash that like button down below. And if you have a topic you would like me to look into for a future Sunday special, let me know as well. And as always, until next time, please stay in your personal high vibration.